Brett Allan here, chatting with Alejandro about this fantastic film, Cabrini. Such a great story, such a great message. Alejandro, thank you for your time. It's great to meet you and talk to you about this fantastic film.
Yeah, very nice to meet you, and thank you for your time.
Yes, well, we're talking about a story with it's historical fiction. It's a story about family, passion. I mean, there's just so many things going on here. My first question would be is what interested you in telling this story? Because there's so much to it, and being able to narrow it all down to a traditional film has to be challenging, I would imagine. But congratulations on this.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, it is a biopic, and you must take creative licenses in order to condense, many years into 2 hours. But for me, that's not the hard part. Every biopic has to do that. For me, the hard part is how to capture the essence of the character, how to capture the essence and the heart and the soul of Mother Cabrini. And that's what we set out to do, and that was the greatest challenge. And I wanted to do it in the most epic, operatic way possible, and that's how we came up with this approach of shooting the film.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's just such a heartfelt cinematic journey. And as you said, you're taking years and years of history and putting it into a short amount of time. You have selected a fantastic cast. We'll be chatting with two of your stars here shortly, but I'm interested to know what that process was like for you in finding such top-notch talent.
Well, it's always a journey. I always say, big part of directing is casting. I always think directing is 90% off the set, 10% at the set. By the time you get to set, you should have made all your decisions, and casting is one of the main part of the decision making. Um, in this particular way, for Cabrini, we were just searching. I knew exactly when I was gonna meet Cabrini, and for me, it was on the ice. It's like I was looking. There's actors that are really good with facial expressions, and there's actors that are very good with stillness and with just the expression of their eyes. And I wanted that. I wanted Michael Corleone. you know, uh, it's. I wanted to find the eyes that spoke without words, and that's what I found on Christiana.
Yeah, well, Mr. David Morse too. I mean, he is the
Well,
king of
yes.
facial expressions. I mean, we have such a short time to speak with him later. I have so many questions, but as you say, all the preparation takes beforehand. So when we come here in this very special few moments we have to share, you have to be very intricate and surgical in your questions. One last one for you as we wrap here. What are a couple of things, Alejandro, that are important to you when it comes to storytelling? If you can just boil it down to maybe one or two. You've alluded to a few things here, but specifically, what is key for you in storytelling?
Um, I like to make movies that begin when the movie ends. That's my goal. It's when the movie ends and you leave the theater. I like to make movies that reaches your soul and leaves you in a state of reflection. There was a movie that did that for me, which is called Schindler's List. I was in film school and I saw that film, and I remember when I left the theater, the movie stuck in my head, and then the next day was still in my head, and then I started questioning a lot of things about myself. And I said, I was still a film student. I had not done any movies yet, and I said, that's the kind of cinema I want to make, and that's films that shake your soul a little bit.
Yeah.
That's it. But I want to say something about David Morse. It took me 3 movies to work with him. 3. I think I offered, my other 2 movies. Every movie, I think I would call and offer him a role. And, for whatever reason, time or whatever thing, I never got the opportunity to work with him. So this was the third is the lucky number, no? So
Yeah.
it was a great honor to have worked with him, and he was incredible in the film.
Yeah, it's that philosophy. If you work hard, good things will come, and everything happens at the right time and for the right reason. And this is a great film. And it would be safe to say that I think people are going to really appreciate this. Again, biopic, historical fiction, such a great story, such a great cast. Alejandro, thank you for your time. It's been a
Thank you
pure
very much.
pleasure chatting with you. Congratulations on this great film.
Likewise, thank you.
Thank
Please tell
you.
everybody.